So when we think about ethics, first of all, we want to distinguish it from morals. Morals define codes of behavior, what would be a good thing to do in a community, to be a part of that community. In other words, to be integrated with that world. Obviously, when we're talking about things online, we're talking about things about the etiquette of how we communicate with one another. But that's an important topic, of course, but it's a different topic than ethics, which has to do with what does it mean to make a good choice? So in that last thing, we were just talking about good choices with respect to medicine, good choices with respect to food. And, how do we take care of ourselves in an appropriate way? How do we take care of our brains and our sort of deep respect for ourselves and the life that we live? Because in effect, the life that we're living is a gift. I mean, we're here on this earth. We get to look up into the sky and to see stars and to have wonder about the universe. Like, what is all this for? Why are we here? What is all this about? And those are the kinds of questions that get into the topic of metaphysics, which is another topic for a day. But the idea is that from these kinds of questions, we can start to think about what does it mean to make a good choice? What are the kinds of things that we can do as individuals in our engagement with our own lives and with the people around us, with the environment in which we live, to truly be supportive and sustaining of that, to be supportive of the country that we live in, the communities that we're part of, the towns and cities, the environments and the ecosystems that we're a part of. How can we be in right relationship with all of these other creatures that we find ourselves sharing this earth with? So that's the topic of ethics. Ethics has to do with how do we make good choices given the field of complexity that is life, right? Because life is obviously not simple. It is hopefully, though, profoundly clear that it would be a good idea to actually live well and fully. So in effect, when we think about what are the principles that support good life in one's relationships, obviously we want to support what's internal and what is external. So in other words, what is it in the communication channel? What is it in the process that is essentially going to support that? And we come to deep concepts like symmetry and continuity as being the basis by which we think about that, i.e. things that maximize the relationship between what's internal and what's external as a kind of symmetry, i.e. that what I see in the world and what I model in my head happen to have some match with one another. And or that if we're looking at some sort of connection, that connection has continuity, right? So symmetry and continuity are kind of like the core concepts of what makes ethics actually work as a topic. How do we think about, increasing the level of connectedness in an appropriate way, having it so that the change of energy, i.e. Doesn't go too fast or too slow so that we can essentially adapt. But at the same time, having good transmission from what's my intention into the world as causal result, and also to have good reception of information from the world as part of my sensory intake, so that I'm actually perceiving rightly and expressing effectively. And obviously, to be able to perceive well, I need to have a certain dispassion, to have a certain independence of willfulness in respect to that.